Oh, hello, excuse me. Friday the 19th of November. I'm going to yak at you for just a couple more minutes. Yes, these videos are quite self-serving for me, as well as the idea of trying to share information to you. But there is a diary aspect of this, or a blog aspect of it, vlog rather, where I kind of just talk about what's happening with me. And what's happening that I want to share this morning is if you're in Omaha today, November 19th, 2021, you really ought to, I don't like to use the word should, but I'm going to use it. You should come to my show tonight at the Slowdown. It's RAF. It's our last show. The whole band is I'm going to say it my way. The whole band is in denial about this. We're opening for Mike Vallely and Complete Disaster tonight at Slowdown. The deal is, our drummer, this band, RAF, is just a really funny motley crew of people. We never formally organized ever as a band, never had a manager. Our leader, the guy that started the band, was out of the band decades ago and went to prison. And so it's an organic living thing in my life that just wouldn't die, and has over the years gathered strength and momentum and means a lot to me. Well, what's up is our drummer, Tim Cox, who's been with the band as long as I have, although myself and Tim weren't in the original version of the band. The original version of the band was like nothing. It was like literally children trying to figure something out. But since Tim and I and Paul Murky, we are the core members who have been in the band for 36 plus years, Tim and his wife are moving to Arizona. Their kids are off in college now, and Tim is originally from Sioux City, Iowa, and never liked Omaha. And now that they're getting close to retirement, they're getting ready to move. Yeah, I'm moving my lamp. When I see it behind me, it distracts me as I'm watching myself make the video. So that's what's up, people, about the lamp. So anyway, this is our last show of the year, but Tim is working now on selling his house and being gone by spring. So in my mind, this is the end of it. We aren't quitting. We aren't breaking up. And all the band members refuse to say that. Everyone says, well, if we get a good gig, Tim says he'll fly in from Arizona to do the gig and practice. I like that idea, and I'm all for it. But the fact that they're moving, to me, signifies the end of an era. RAF, our hard-driving band, our roots are in the punk rock scene in Omaha, but we're not really a punk rock band. Those are parts of our roots. We play hard, and we just really like to play, and we like to play hard. So when we play, it's worth your while to come see us, because and you can ask historically. We got to the point where bands said they don't want to go on after us. We've even had headliners say, we'll go before them. We see what they do. Yeah, we can slay. On a good night, we are the best band in the country. We kill. We play, and I'm glad I'm part of it, because I'm there making sure it happens. We play as though our lives depend on it. We really do. It means a lot to us. So that's what's on my mind this morning. Tonight is basically our last gig, and if you're in Omaha, you really ought to come. You're going to miss something. You are. I want to continue to encourage folks to be strong and fight your good fight, because One of the comments that I saw from my video yesterday was someone saying that they try to be assertive and they try to be direct with people, and then they feel like then they come up against people playing the victim. I think that's how they put it. Well, to me, the solution to the problem is right there in what you said, that the person is playing the victim. It's like their stance is, it's a position that does not necessarily represent what's really going on. I, for one, do not play along with people playing the victim anymore. And here's another thing that I find people have difficulty dealing with, but I learned this, it makes sense to me, and I insist on it in my life. I'm responsible for what I say. I'm not responsible for what you perceive. Your perception of what I say and what I do is exactly that. It's your perception. It's not necessarily accurate, and yet all the time in the world we're dealing with people responding to their perceptions as though they're a reality, and we also have people who are allowing others to let their perceptions of that other person cause unnecessary stress and problems. I don't walk on eggshells. If I have something to say, I say it, but I try to say it, kindly. That's the thing that I want to keep trying to get across, that it's important to understand. It has to do with what's going on inside of each person, the motivation behind what we do and say that reveals our true nature, okay? So that's why if you feel like you have to walk on white eggshells to be around a person, what is the problem? And get to it. And most of the time, the problem isn't you, or if it is you, then get to work. If the problem is the other person, and you have any choice about it, well, then make different choices. Okay? But no, I'm not allowing anyone to victimize me anymore with their thoughts, with their belief systems, with the shit in their heads. And that's what's going on in this world. That's why we have all this division, is because people have these stupid caca beliefs that serve their agendas, or someone's agenda that they're pushing. And look at the mess that we live in. Okay, a little bit of music. So there's been all kinds of talk in the music communities about the pressings of this album, Kid Amnesia. I've heard quite a few complaints and people saying, well, actually, someone did post a video playing their copy, and it had that anomalous noise that you'll hear when the pressing is like, ooh, bad pressing. I got lucky. This plays great, and I love it. All three sides. I do skip over the part with the brass band. That's too somber. I don't even like it. But overall, I love those two albums. Hadn't played this in a while. This is a magical album. Parallelograms by Linda Perhacs. This is the double album reissue with demos. Fantastic album. This is really just some of my favorite music, and it's some of my favorite kind of music. It's magical. It's there's a lot of beauty involved. There's some mystery involved in some of the pieces. This is a fantastic album. Fantastic. One that goes back to the 80s that I bought. I didn't know what it was, but I liked the cover, so I bought it. I think this is a Belgian band, and it's like new romantic, kind of, kind of like Duran Duran or Spandau Ballet. Octobre. This is pretty cool. It's mostly sung in French, I think. But I played it all the way through last night, and this really holds up. This is good. Octobre. There are a lot of records like that are just really good that they're unknown. Pull and listen to most of SF Sorrow yesterday. Pretty Things, SF Sorrow and Parachute. It's well known about the importance of this album and how they were pushing boundaries and how they inspired Tommy by The Who. They inspired a lot. I was listening to something the other night. Oh, it was Bowie, early Bowie. And it's like, damn, this is early Bowie. This early Bowie, some of these songs are a straight copy of Pretty Things sound. Great band. Great band. Apparently yesterday was the 47th anniversary of the release of this album, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway by Genesis. Classic album. It's definitely a desert island disc for me. I played all of side 1 and 2 yesterday. There was a time when this came out that this was the music I lived by. There was so much about it that completely paralleled what I was going through. At the time of this, I had just gotten out of high school. All kinds of turmoil. It was still very suicidal and depressive and just kind of, lost in ways. And this music just really helped me in difficult times. Classic, amazing album. And I see it, so now I'm going to talk about it. I'll probably talk about this again, though, Matt. This came in the mail yesterday from Jazz in Britain. Splinters, Inclusivity, 3 CD book. Man, I'll tell you what, Jazz in Britain are not messing around with this. This is really vital. I listened to, look at the lineup. These are the cream of British jazz, these guys. And I started to read the story about the book, because this is just really an fantastic. I am enthusing, because this is really the way to do things, really high quality. And the book is explaining about how Splinters came together, the joining of an older and newer generation. Tubby Hayes, oh my God, with Trevor Watts and Kenny Wheeler, Jeff Klein on bass, and then these two drummers together, Phil Seaman and John Stevens, Stan Tracy on piano. These are like the cream. These are some of the very cream of British jazz musicians coming together and playing in a more free setting than not. This came in the mail while I was visiting with my trumpet player, good friend, little brother Blake. Blake stopped by yesterday. He's just really like a family member to me. So he was here when I got it, and so I popped it on, and Blake is a deep listener. He's a real musician, and we got up on Kenny Wheeler like right away. He said, whoa. Like that. We're going like, whoa. Vital. And then the double drumming. Then I played part of disc 2 myself later. Holy shit, man! This is really important. Really important. Jazz in Britain is badass. Splinters, Inclusivity. Whew, wow. Okay, along the same lines of just more of enthusiasm about music in general. I watched a documentary about the band Happy End from Japan, where someone had translated it into English. Hiromi Hosono, one of his first bands, important in the history of Japanese rock. And in the video, Hosono talks about, I get to hear him talk at length about what American bands inspired him and why. And particularly it was the Buffalo Springfield and Moby Grape that were the two huge influences on him in starting to play rock music. And they pointed out how on Happy End, the big hit, the one that they ended up using in the movie, that's part of the resurgence of Hosono's popularity was a song of his was used in a movie. I don't see many movies, but anyway, he pointed out that the guitar figure in the hit, I forget the name of it, he got it from listening to this, and then he goes ahead and points out and played He. It's the song He. Sure enough, that's where the riff comes from. Moby Grape, West Coast band, a lot of country in the music, but very psychedelic also. And this is a cool album. You actually have to play the last part of the last song on the first side at 78. And there's psychedelic shit in here that's just like, oh yeah. And then they'll do a complete pastiche, or it's like we're at a barn dance. And those tracks, I just skip them because it's just pure country, and I'm just bored to death with country and mostly blues, you know. Fantastic album. Wow, by Moby Grape. And yes, I have Grape Jam. Yeah, got both parts. They go together. Okay. So that's what I want to share today, and I want to continue to reiterate that good people are not fooled by negative energy and people who are broken inside and don't have the decency to treat others with dignity, and so they just are wrecking the party. It's like they're the uninvited guests who shit in the punch bowl, right? And there's a lot of them around, you know. And I'm not having it in my life, but I'm encouraging you folks, you know. Stupidity, ignorance, negativity, and just really, really, really bad energy has risen to the top in the world. And it's like we're slimed, we're covered with this fog of darkness. Literally, it's how it feels to me. And I'm just calling that out. There's no excuse for racism. There is no excuse for ongoing sexism. There is no excuse for the ongoing mad, horrible division going on between people for the purpose of personal gain of those at the top of the game. It's wrong. And it feeds a lot of the negative, destructive behavior that goes on in this world. And I will speak out about it. Maybe more of us will try and change what we do as a result of our awakening. Maybe. That's what's going to happen. Change things. Signing bills and giving people money isn't going to do it. Be well. Come see RAF tonight.